19.7.
That might explain what I was about to say, that message from Esteban Ocon in the Alpine, because just to pick up on what Jolien was saying, right now on the long runs with the worn soft tyres that are fitted to both Alpines, they run in the same run plan.
Traction management. Yeah, we don't need too much management through turn 14. The main one is that turn 10 traction management.
And I couldn't really work it out because, like Jolien said, Ocon has looked the better driver today, but right now Gasly is slightly quicker. But it could be because there's some sort of hybrid deployment issue for Ocon's Renault power unit.
It can be a lot of tyre life as well. If you've hurt the tyres on these long runs, even if it's comparable, you're quicker on one lap and you find a bit of traffic. And the long runs are difficult to collate an absolute pace from. This morning, Ocon was third quickest as well, so he's really thriving on confidence, having had that podium. Stunning drive last week for Esteban. And Gasly needs to try to halt the run that Ocon's getting, because confidence breeds confidence, and before he knows it, the team will just start to think that maybe Esteban's the guy.
I was going to say that. There's a team leadership role up for grabs at Alpine this year, and a good couple of runs. It's a long season, things can progress. Gasly will be getting more and more comfortable with the team with every race that he runs there. Remember, he's part of the Red Bull program for his entirety of his Formula 1 career, mainly with the junior team, and then Red Bull for just 12 races. And it's in those 12 races for Red Bull that he scored his best result here, which was 6th place. So, battle for supremacy at Alpine. And once again, the Ferrari's not separated by much earlier on, as Ferrari compare updates from one car to the other. But it's car number 1, the reigning world champion, the championship leader, the man who made history in 2016, the man who won the race after a trip to the gravel trap in 2022, who finds himself across the line just moments before the checkered flag comes out. And we have completed an intriguing, interesting across the board in practice today. Enjoyable day in the combox. First car to take the flag was George Russell, as everyone completes, and then we'll have some more practice starts on the grid, and they sound fantastic here because of the enormous curve.
Try shape 3, shape 3.
And it's pretty much full at the moment to see these wonderful cars on track.
What a clean day of running we've had.
Yeah.
2 hours. Russell had a skip through the gravel, avoiding Piastri early on in this session. Apart from that, I don't think we've had a yellow flag. We've had a couple of people dropping a wheel coming out of turn 12, but very, very clean. That rain never came, did it, Sam? Apart from a report of a couple of spots on the visor of Russell.
The dig dispatched at the end.
Apparently it's going to be a deluge tomorrow, so everyone stay tuned. But it's been a good day for everyone. It's the perfect time to come to a permanent circuit, a track that everyone knows, have all sorts of upgrade gubbins on the car. Monitor it earlier on with some flow-vis. We've seen a couple of cars still with flow-vis on in FP2, but they'll have plenty of data to look at and see if the upgrades have worked. It feels like a fairly rare run-of-the-mill day in Formula 1 terms.
Yes, it does. Story of the session has to be that lap from Hulkenberg, who, when it's all hooked up, he's a phenomenal driver. I mean, I don't think he ever got the credit for being a super sub and putting it third on the grid for the one of the Silverstone races in 2022. It's ridiculous to not be driving and then to be the third fastest on the grid. So he's always had ability over one lap, one-time pole position in Formula 1, lining up. Now they've got to remember their rule book. You can't go too far forward here. We've seen it happening more and more on the actual start for a Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz was pinged early. No action, but just noted by the stewards that he did his practice start way too far, a foot too far forward from his grid spot.
Maybe he's trying to push it, see how far they'd go. Would they notice half a car? Is that they do?
Look there at the aerodynamic pieces on the floor, where once there were really artistic barge boards, so much aerodynamic gubbins there in the past that drivers would need a step to get into the car. Saying goodbye to the AlphaTauri and on board with